Howdy folks, Frankie Dave back again YouTube. Today on YouTube I have update number 1 of Warren's Group Build 20th Century Aircraft, the US. Uh, Folks, on my first updated video, I've been at this thing for about pretty close to about 2 or 3 days now. And I finally got the inside of the fuselage all completed, with the exception of placing the windows. The windows we put in the last step when the aircraft's all finished. Instead of masking the windows off like that, I'll just go ahead and put them in after the model's completely been painted. As to the update build report, I installed the cabin flight deck, navigator, radio compartment, pilot's compartment. I added the 7.62 miniguns, 3 of them I give you in the kit, which was on Puff. As a technical note as to Puff, Magic Dragon, and Spooky. Spooky was the call name for all gunships of AC-47s to go into a mission. Their nickname. The enemy always called them the Dragon ships, and we call them Puff or Spooky, just to clear that up a little bit. Heck, when I was in the Navy and we seen them on Vietnam all the time, we used to always call them Puff. Well, later on they called them Spookies because it was a call name. Actually, Spooky kind of stuck with it for a while. And so the AC-47 will answer any nickname that there is. But this kit is, after going through it and reviewing it a couple times before I actually started assembly, I adjusted the kit compared to the original release. So the only thing that was added to the kit was just the miniguns and the ready boxes, and also your blast blankets were added. And you got a special World War II gun sight that's actually been attached to the pilot side of the fuselage. The pilot had the complete control of the miniguns. The aircraft actually flew in a pylon configuration, like a vulture circling around. And each one of those bullets, it was 300 bullets per second that came out of those 7.62 miniguns. That's a lot of ammo, boys. I tell you, I've seen it with my own 2 eyes what it can do. Like, as I mentioned on the introduction video of the group build, is that you take a 300-foot football field, and every square inch that makes 300 feet of that football field will have at least 1 bullet in it. Now that's called precise ammo, buddy, and it's effective. The NVA, they didn't like that. It carries a hell of a punch. Actually, the AC-47 was the successor to the AC-119 flying boxcar. They had a lot of problems with flying boxcars. With the C-119 flying in a pilot configuration, there's something wrong with the carburetor on the Pratt & Whitney engines that they had. They always seemed how they kind of they sputtered a lot, reducing fuel power to the engines, causing the aircraft to stall. And the airplane had to be at least 1,500 feet above the turf to be able to unload the 7.62 miniguns, which they were employed on those aircraft. And the C-130 Hurricane, it was the successor to the AC-47. Still had the same 7.62 miniguns. And that's just a technical note right there to my Magic Dragon. Over here, folks, I'll be able to show you the update build report I've done on it. And I added a special feature which does not incorporated with the kit. I got a spare parts box like most of us modelers do. I got an area of pilots, ground personnel, and everything like that. So I had a couple of pilots that I had a custom made to make them fit in the pilot seat. So I added a pilot and a co-pilot on there. Wearing the traditional olive green uniforms we wore today, with the also white helmets they had and blue goggles. They were incorporated on it. Aircraft was airbrushed with a coat of chromate green. After the chromate green is dried 24 hours, I went back and airbrushed a mixture of black wash on it to bring out the highlights and the details. So as to the update build report, let's go to the Lazy Susan over here. Let's take a shot, see what's shaking with this thing. Hang on, boys, here we go. Okay, fellas. Here she is on top of my Lazy Susan right here. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. And take a look, see what I've done this thing so far. And somehow, folks, I got to polish up my videos here. If I can just polish up videos as good as I can build these things, I'll be at top of the game. As you can see, the flight deck has all been installed, been painted, washed down using a couple various washes of black. You can see I opened up the doors. See those bulkheads, those cabin bulkheads, which makes up the fuselage detail. There's doors right in there. There's doors. I opened up the doors right there, so you can you can actually see it when you take a look inside the cargo door area right there. You can see the door opening. There's this pilot's eye installed right there. They fit pretty nicely in there. I had to do a little modification on there, and so I'd be able to have them sit right. As we go back and proceed aft, there's the ready boxes right there. You should have there. I think there's 2 ready boxes back there, 3 of them I think, for your 7.62 millimeter shell racks. And you got the third one up against the bulkhead, which goes to the loo or the head. And right there you can see the 3 7.62 miniguns and the blast blankets on there. There's the toilet right there, as you can see, which are all aluminum. The doorway opens up right there where they go in there and do their business, relieve themselves after combat. A lot of detail will not be seen once the fuselage is together, so I try to be able to make it look pretty good as I can. And there's a couple of holidays right there I can do some touch-up on before I close up that fuselage. And we'll swing around a little bit and try to zoom in a little more on here. And the bare plastic right there, I forgot to airbrush that bare plastic on those two ready racks right there. They won't be seen once the fuselage fits up against it, so there's no big deal there. The pods fit quite nicely. The kit gives you a decal sheet for the dial console, and the radio compartment and the navigator compartment has all been airbrushed chromate green, give it a wash of black and green. Bring out the highlights. The pilots had been all painted with traditional dark green they used. They had no Mae West back in those days. They used Mae West, but they never use them when they're in country. And get a little further here. Try to adjust this crazy lazy Susan a little bit. Like I say, fellas, I'm no expert when it comes to camera detail, though, but I'll get better as time goes by. And try to get a close-up of everything here so you can see what I've done. Like I said, the aircraft, everything was given an airbrush one coat of chromate green, and a lot was touched up with, after that it was a wash. You know, you can see, if I get a little closer, you can see the gun camera right there on the pilot's side, which is a World War II gun camera they used. And those 3 7.62 millimeter miniguns right there were operated by the pilot only, because the aircraft flew in a pilot configuration of 1,500 feet above the turf. Then he can aim precisely at the target area as designated by the ground personnel, by the troops. And you can see the blast blankets right there, because those blast blankets are like a blast shield. I can tell you, you got to put some protective eye gear on there when because they had a hell of a flash on it. They could burn out a man's retina in no time. So that's why they had flash blankets on there to keep the crew members from getting a flash from the gun, keep them being blinded. Thumbs up, boys. Done. Time for the close of the video. There you go, guys. There's a little walk around the update number 1 on my group, on the group build of Warren's group build. I can do a little more touch up on it a little bit. They say a picture tells 1,000 stories. So anyway, I can do a little touch up on there before I close the fuselage off. Everything else is pretty much done. I'm pretty critical about my own work, so I know there's a couple of holidays right there. I've got the airbrush on there, so I'm gonna touch up with an airbrush and give it a coat of wash, and that'll be that. I go ahead and close the fuselage off and check for the fitting of the filler, which filler needs on it. So I'm pretty quite certain I had to add some filler to the fuselage, since it's an old mold. And I dry fitted it before I acted-terrored it. It looks like it fits pretty good, so therefore I'll file down a little bit and add a little putty right there and scribe in some more detail on it. On the next update, with number 2, which will be the closer of the fuselage and the tailwheel assembly will be added, and the horizontal stabilizers will be added, and you'll see the filler been added. The next I just go on next to the wings, so I have to go to the wings and drop the landing gear flaps, and go ahead and detail the flap wells out well before, and airbrush and give it a black wash, and the build will go on. It looks like it might be a fast build. This one, not very many parts to it, and so I'm going to try to milk this. I'm going to try to make a 3-week build out of this, and which be no sweat with me. A little bit here, a little bit there, just put it away, let it dry 24 hours, and go to something else for a little bit. So anyway, fellas, that'll be it on the update number 1 of Warren's group build U.S. aircraft of the 20th century. Like I say, 20th century aircraft, boys, anything goes. And we're Wright brothers on. And so Warren's got a beautiful looking Starfire right there, the old flying missile. They used to call it the Widowmaker. And we got the F-86 by Clint, the Mad Modeler. He's got that going. And we have a few other fellows out there that's got stuff going on pretty good. And we'll see how the build goes. Looks like it's going to be an interesting group build. So like I say, anything goes with this group build. And so far, everybody's pretty much finished up my group build. And I like to make a shout out for all the guys out there, that all you great fellows that participated in my Battle of Britain group build. I'm very honored. And I'm very grateful that you have participated in my build. And when I see my eyes, you guys do very exceptional work, and it's real good. Clint, you did a good job in that 109, and also Steve, you did a great job in that Hawker Hurricane. Very great job. Came out like $1 million. And Panzerman Bill, like I say, that 110 you did is it was the designers of that Airfix kit back in 1960. You can see that what you did to that kit. They'd be bewildered. A1 job, sir. A1 job. All you guys did very good work. And I'd like to thank little Jimmy Pakakis, the Parashakis, excuse me, Jimmy, for letting me get in his build. And I finished up my 109. And Cohen, he did an excellent job in his 109. A very superb job. He done a great job on it, and it came out like $1 million. Like I say, there's a lot of 109s out there, but that's what makes the build. So thank you, Jimmy, one more time for letting me be on your build, and time to go on to something else. So we got Warren's group build going up, so I guess I'm the first one out there who's got an update on it, report on it. So I mentioned Warren will be following, and a couple other fellows out there will be following. So we'll see how it goes. So I'd like to thank everybody for your comments, and please subscribe, and thank you for tuning in, and may God bless, and we'll catch you update number 2 of Warren's group build, 20th century United States aircraft. Thanks, boys. Bye now.